Tennessee Senator and Senate Armed Services Committee member Marsha Blackburn was on that call, and Senator Blackburn joins us now. Senator, great to have you on Fox and Friends. Tell us about the call.
Good to be with you.
With Zelensky. We know what he requested. How was it received by the Senate?
I think it was well received by members of the Senate. There's been a sense of frustration that the administration has reacted slowly when they could have chosen to be proactive in getting supplies and arms into Ukraine, beginning those sales of lethal assistance last fall. But what Zelensky wanted is that no-fly zone. He needs to get aircraft in there that his military can actually fly in order to protect themselves. He was very upfront about the importance of SWIFT and getting them out of the system. I do have that sense of the Senate resolution to block Russia from SWIFT, and I hope we take that up this week. And then he also pointed to energy and the importance of stopping those purchases of Russian oil, because energy really is Russia's currency. And that is what they are using to finance this war. Zelensky also mentioned cutting off the use of MasterCard and Visa by the Russian people. So all of this will help. But I've got to tell you, Will, the energy is the number one thing, and keeping the attention on what Russia is trying to do. And we need to go back to drilling domestically so we're not buying oil and gas from madmen in Venezuela or Iran or other areas.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's what they're doing. I mean, we're going from one bad guy to another. We're seeing their secret deals being made with Venezuela and that dictator there, Maduro. And now there's more deals in Iran. And weirdly, that the Russians are involved in the deal with Iran as well. I mean, what is going on?
Rachel, this is so unseemly that the Biden administration has had these negotiators in Vienna trying to negotiate this deal. And the Russians are the intermediaries in this. When Russia is out here attacking Ukraine unprovoked, and Russia is trying to supply more oil to the U.S. and to the EU, and then they're trying to get Iran back in the pipeline to supply the EU and the U.S. This is unheard of. We do not need a new deal with Iran. What we need is to uncap these wells in the U.S. that have been capped in the past year because of the Biden administration. We need to stop flaring natural gas and get that into the pipeline. We need to go back to drilling on federal lands and use these leases that we have. We need the Keystone Pipeline, which, by the way, if it were finished, would give us another 830,000 barrels a day. And it is just the northern leg of that pipeline that needs to be finished. What they are doing, buying oil from Russia, needs to stop right now, this minute. No excuses. Just stop it. And this silliness of Jen Psaki standing there and saying, well, it doesn't really affect the global supply. Oh, yes, it does. And let's look at Mississippi and Alabama and the panhandle of Florida and Louisiana and Texas. And let's go back to drilling there and not bringing this in, importing the 670,000 barrels a day. It's ridiculous.
Senator, one of our previous guests pointed out that the Trump administration wasn't even going for energy independence. They were going for energy dominance. And when you look at enemies in the world today and the leverage of energy, that is significant. But right now, the left is obsessed with the climate and everything else cascades from there, including how much folks in America are paying for a gallon of gas on average in America today. I know you know this, Senator. It's now over $4. That cost was $2.75 a year ago. It is spiraling upwards. I mean, it was $3.60 a week ago. We're at a point where it's not slowly and gradually increasing. It could be, where could it go from here? And who's to blame for it?
Well, and Pete, take a look at the oil futures market, and it will tell you where it is going, because what we are doing is, with this moving from the energy independence or dominance and being a net exporter and going back to being an importer of that nearly 700,000 barrels a day, we have weakened ourselves, and it's because the leftists and the socialists and the Marxists and the progressives, whatever they want to call themselves, their focus is on climate as their religion. And anything they can do to push us toward electric vehicles, anything they can do to say use less energy, they are going to do it because climate is their God. And what we have to do is say common sense has to prevail in that. We are an energy-based economy. And Russia is a big oil depot with an army. And what we need to do is shut down their currency, get them out of SWIFT, make it impossible for them to sell these oil and gas products, and return ourselves to that energy independence.
A big oil depot with an army and nuclear weapons.
Yes, very good point.
Senator Blackburn,
Yes.
always great to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Good talking to you.